Okay, so in this video we're going to take a look at lists. What lists are, they're similar to arrays, but they're dynamic, which means they can expand or contract as we add elements. So the first thing we want to do is add a path to the generic library or class. So we're going to type in generic here. And inside of here is all of the scripting that allows us to add lists. So the way you create a list is just by simply writing the word list. You can see here that it's added, and then the data type of what you want. And you can think of this as a grocery list. You can add and remove elements to a grocery list, or your list on your cell phone, list of names. I'm going to name this attributes because we want to kind of keep it in the same game realm. Equals, and then we want to allocate new memory for this list, and we're going to do the list of type string. I'm going to put a semicolon to end this line. So let's go ahead for now and just write debug.log, and then within this log statement I'm just going to put attributes, lowercase a with an s, dot count, and we go ahead and hit Control S to save this. Let's make sure our count is capital. So as we jump back into Unity here, I actually have this test script attached to my an empty game object. So the one thing I kind of forgot to put in here is you have to put an open and close parenthesis, or yeah, there. I'm going to hit Control S. I'm going to press play. You see we currently have 0 elements within our list. So let's go ahead and add some elements. So in the add function, or the start function rather, all I have to do is just write attributes dot add, and then I can start adding elements to his attributes. So say we can do health. That's one attribute. And then we'll do another attribute called like say we're making a game where our character can gain intelligence or something. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and save this, and then I'm going to go ahead and jump back in and press play. And you'll notice, here, let me bring up the console, that, let me clear this and then press play again. We still have 0. And the reason for that is we're not constantly looping this. As we run this at the very start of this, remember you're reading code from really top to bottom, or from our start function, and then you jump around from there. So at the very start it is 0. But if I add it below this and I hit Control S to save it and I press play, back in Unity, you'll notice that we went from 0 to 2. This is important when we do our Mechanim, which is our character animation tutorial, when we go to script this. Okay, so let's take a look at creating a list of items, or using a statement like a looping statement to kind of circle through these. Actually, before we do that, we should take a look at how we access each element of the array. Okay, so right now we have 2 elements within our list, rather, not our array. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to copy this debug.log attributes count, paste it here, and what I'm going to put in here is a couple of quotes, and I'm going to put the element in index 0 is, and then I'm just going to simply put a plus sign here. I'm going to leave attributes there, and then just do an open close bracket, and then I'm going to put in a 0. Then I'm going to copy this, paste it again, and do a 1. So let's go ahead and save this and then take a look at it in Unity. So I'm just going to, just so we can see this a little bit better, I'm going to place one on top and then the other guy on the bottom. Alright, so that we can kind of cycle through our code. Alright, so I'll press play here. And if we look at our code, we have the element in index 0. So we have the element in index 0. We should put a space behind these, but is health. So lists are just like arrays, where each element starts off at 0, and then it goes to 1, and so on. So this, if we're adding this to our list, it starts off at index 0, and then this one starts at 1, and we should have named this 1. So if I hit Control S again, and I press play, it should clear itself out. There we go. 0 is health, and 1 is int for intelligence. Okay, so what we're going to take a look at from here is something called a dictionary. So dictionaries are, you can think of a dictionary as a key, sort of like a key value pair. So what that means is, when you log in to a account, Amazon or whatever, it might ask for your user ID. And then when you enter your user ID and password, or it could just, let's make it even simpler, you type in your email address or user ID, it gives you access to a whole collection of information about you. You know, how much balance you have on your gift cards or what have you. Or you can think about it even at a hospital. They might enter in the medical ID number, and it'll bring up the person's name, age, and all that other stuff. So let's take a look at coding a dictionary. So say we want to add, well, let's just go ahead and copy this. So say in our one of our attributes is strength, and we want to add this to element, let's say 3. So what we have here is we have our ID, which is 3, and then we have our value, which is strength here. So let's go ahead and copy this debug.log. And let's change it from index to key 3. And then inside of here, let's do 3. I mean, we can even go further. Let's do 5 and then 5 here, just so you can see that we can jump slots with using a dictionary. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Control S. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and press play here. Let's see what the error is. Oh. We're going to change list to dictionary here. And we're going to change this to dictionary as well. So we have a dictionary of type string and a new dictionary of type string here. Now the thing is, we're actually passing in 2 values here, so we have to actually write int, comma string, and int, comma string here. So this is how you're doing it. So what we're saying here is we're going to pass in 2 elements, so we can say 1, comma health, and we can say 0, or I'm sorry, count, comma intelligence, 0, comma health, and so forth. And so as we go through this, we're actually accessing a key or ID that's going to give us these strings. Alright, let's hit Control S here. Hopefully we don't get another error. There we go. So let's press play. And you'll notice that it looks pretty much the same here. And it says the element in key 5 is, and so things, and so on. This is gonna all you need to understand now between lists and dictionaries is there are ways of storing things. With a dictionary, you're storing an ID that has attached to a specific value. With a list, you're just storing them in a list. You're adding it in a dynamically growing list.